Hello, everyone. Welcome to a Delaware Bluecoats recap where I'm going to be focusing on the two-way players who saw time with the 76ers, yet, and their chances of being re-signed by the team this offseason, considering the Sixers season just ended. The Bluecoats lost in the second round of the G League playoffs to the Maine Celtics after beating the Fort Wayne Mad Ants 123-101 in the first round. We saw Terquavion Smith, Ricky Council IV, and Jeff Dowtin Jr. all get playing time in the NBA. In the G League, Ricky Council IV averaged 23.1 points per game, shot 35% from deep, and averaged 5.4 rebounds per game in about 32 minutes per game. So he was providing a ton of offensive and rebounding potential. And what stood out most watching him was the athleticism. He would rush back and forth from the court on both sides, and it was impressive to watch his hustle and his get-up ability, his jumping ability. Terquavion Smith, in 22 games with the Bluecoats, averaged 30.8 minutes and scored 22.8 points per game, shot 37.1% from three on about 10 attempts per game. So a nice volume shooter who definitely is not afraid to take the shots. In the NBA, Terquavion played 16 games, averaged only 3.3 points, but did shoot the ball from deep at that same rate, at 37%. 39% from the field in total. So as you can see, his game is pretty one-dimensional right now. But if he can hold his own on the defensive end for a 6'4 player, he might be able to find a Danny Green-esque role on this team. Jeff Dowtin Jr. was a major factor in the Sixers' back half of the season, not because of the Joel Embiid injury, but because of the injuries to Kyle Lowry and De'Anthony Melton. De'Anthony Melton's back injury lingered all season, so Jeff Dowtin Jr. was called up from the Bluecoats after playing 20 games with them, averaged 19.1 points in the G League, shot 49% from the field, and 5.4 assists. So for a 6'3 guard, you do want to see maybe a little bit more assists, but in 32 minutes played, you'll take that, and we were a little bit short in the point guard department on the Sixers roster. In the NBA, Ricky Council averaged 5.4 points and was by far the most productive out of the G League guys and two-way players, and got rewarded with his hustle with a 4-year non-guaranteed contract, but it does give him some security in terms of being relocated or moving, which is always good for a player who is making it out of the G League. He shot 37% from three as well, 48% from the field, and the three-point percentage was the most interesting that carried over. Because when I did go to the Bluecoats game late March, I went to the Bluecoats game, and he was down there less than 24 hours after playing in Cleveland, and he was obviously tired, but still was beating everyone up and down the court, which is something you love to see. Jeff Dowtin Jr. only played 12 games for the Sixers in 2023-24, but averaged 4.3 assists, shot 55% from the field, and his player rating was 18.2, which is good for someone who is not playing that many minutes. You had to be excited about the ability he was showing in those games without Embiid, because without that, Maxey would likely have been overworked and exhausted from the workload. So his contributions to the Sixers season, I'm not sure if it will land him a deal with the Sixers, but I do believe it will get him a job maybe somewhere else. Terquavion Smith, I do think, will probably be back next year on a cheap deal where he can either ride the bench and learn from other free agents the Sixers target. And I do believe Ricky Council will be one of the few bench players surviving the offseason for the 76ers, as now he will be a member of the Sixers, which is always the goal of the G League and the Bluecoats, is to get these players working through their kinks, getting their confidence up, and getting them the playing time they need to become better basketball players. Thank you for listening to this Bluecoat season recap, and I will talk to you guys next time. Peace.